I believe these are conservative. I think they're going to beat these numbers. All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom. This is not financial advice. We're here to talk about all things investing, and today I want to talk to you about a company called NIO Inc., stock ticker NIO NIO. So they make electric vehicles. They're headquartered in Shanghai, China, and the vast majority of their sales are in China at this point, but we'll talk more about their expansion plans. And they are traded on the New York Stock Exchange, and we'll dig into that a little bit as well. They're in the EV sector. There's a lot of players in the EV sector. You know, everybody looks at Tesla as the giant right now, which they are. A lot of the traditional car makers are coming, Ford, General Motors, Volkswagen. Those guys are entering the space in a big way. There's several companies in China, three larger companies, but NIO to me stands out. I think they've got something special going on here, but like every company, they've got some good going on along with some issues, and I want to go through all of that and then talk about their financials and look at the chart and then a price prediction at the end. Okay, so this is NIO's website. This is the English version of NIO's website. So right now they have three products that make up the majority, if not all, of their sales. But I want to show you all their products really quickly. This is the ES6. This is their most popular selling model. Next in line, they have the NIO EC6. This is a four-door coupe. This is their second most popular selling model. NIO is kind of the gold standard, I would say, of the Chinese EV makers. And they're the closest thing to direct competition that I would say that Tesla has. Now, their third vehicle is their big SUV. So this is the ES8. Seats 6 or 7 people, high-end luxury SUV. So those are the three things they're selling right now. We'll look at their sales numbers. They broke their record in June of 2021. Today is July 23rd, 2021, just to put things in perspective. One more important car we got to talk about with them. The NIO ET7. This is their four-door luxury sedan. So they're not even in this market yet. They have yet to deliver one of these. They are taking orders for these, and they're anticipating starting delivery the beginning of 2022. So as we look at all their sales numbers, understand that they don't have any four-door sedans yet in those sales numbers. That's a 2022 thing. So, that's some instant growth right there. NIO electric car sales reached new all-time highs in June as the company reported 8,083 vehicle deliveries. That's up 116% year over year. So they just broke the 8,000 vehicles delivered per month mark. They will be breaking that probably every month from now on and well beyond that. Right now, all of their sales are in China. So on June 11th, NIO announced that it received European whole vehicle type approval for the NIO ES8, its smart electric flagship SUV. So the NIO ES8 for Europe is officially approved for mass production and license plate registration in all EU countries. On May 6th, NIO announced its entry into Norway, NIO's first overseas market. NIO will deliver its first model, the NIO ES8, in September of this year. So that opens up the entire European market. So this is, again, massive potential for sales growth. So not only is there gigantic potential for sales growth within China, where they're already an industry leader, now they're entering an entirely new market in Europe, which is, that's a great EV market. Europe is converting to EVs rapidly. And past all that, there's lots of speculation that they're looking to come to the United States. Okay, so this is a section on Yahoo Finance that talks about revenue estimates. You'll see a year ago's sales, which would be 2020 sales. They sold $2.55 billion US. This year, they're expecting, you'll see the average estimate of analysts this year is $5.41 billion. That's a 112% increase in sales. The average for next year, which is 2022, is $8.91 billion. That is a 64.6% increase in revenue. I believe with everything that I've looked at and with their entry into the European market, and with them introducing a 4-door sedan, I believe these are conservative. I think they're going to beat these numbers. I don't have a crystal ball, so we're going to have to wait and see. They're expecting, 50% growth going forward. I think over a 10-year period, they're still expecting a compound annual growth rate of like 30%. So revenue has been going up dramatically. They're not yet profitable. They lost $800 million in 2020. So to put it in perspective, on their financial statements at December 31st, 2020, they had, I think, $5.8 billion US. So, they lost $800 million, which is not good, but they're not running out of cash anytime soon. So liquidity is not an issue. Cash runway is not an issue. Very healthy balance sheet. So EV companies trade at a very high PE. I'm just going to go to, let's take a very quick look at Tesla. And I just want to look at their price earnings ratio. Their price earnings ratio is 646 to 1. So as an aside, smash the like button, please subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. So that is astronomical. But it's not unusual in the EV space because this is emerging technology. These are all massive growth companies. They are getting a price sales ratio that's massive, a price earnings ratio that's massive. So that leaves a lot of upside left. If we go back to NIO, they are a $72 billion company. So there's lots of room for them to grow. So this is an article from today from the Motley Fool. So they're trying to explain why NIO is down so much today in trading. The Chinese government strikes the U.S. stock market again. The Chinese government has added restrictions to the private education industry, including bans on raising money through stock listings and foreign investment. What's happening here is this is just adding to the news cycle. Just a few weeks ago, a vehicle rideshare company in China had an IPO a few weeks ago. And then almost immediately thereafter, the Chinese government kind of suspended their operations and went into a big investigation. It was a big shakeup. It caused a lot of uncertainty in the market as it pertains to Chinese companies trading on the New York Stock Exchange. In addition to that, a month ago, China basically turned off their Bitcoin mining. So that had ripple effects on, the cryptocurrency world. And again, all these things just start to create some uncertainty when dealing with a company based in China. I want to look at their Form 20F. This is their annual report for the year 2020. So if you look on the front page of this, you will see jurisdiction of incorporation of organization is the Cayman Islands. So this is another uncertainty thing that was going around. And I want to just dispel this a little bit. This is how Chinese companies have traded on the New York Stock Exchange for years and years and years. So recently, it was kind of going around the internet and going around the investment community that, do we even own shares of the stock? And there was a lot of FUD put out there relating to this issue. This is not a new issue. This is not new news. This is how these companies trade on the New York Stock Exchange. So you'll look, if you see title of each class, American Depository Shares. Basically, when a foreign entity trades on the New York Stock Exchange, you're trading American Depository Shares. You're not actually trading shares of the company itself. It's essentially the equivalence. Nobody's ever made a distinction in the past. Now all of a sudden this is being raised as a big red flag. So I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it's the way it's always been done. So there's really no new news here. Let's just take a quick look at the chart and we'll wrap this up. So this is NIO's chart for the last year. And I've drawn two blue lines, one at $30, which represents the level of support. So they've bounced off of that a few times over the course of this year. It's been a few months since they've touched that line, but 30 seems to be a pretty strong line of support. They're currently trading at 44. But if you look at the yellow lines, I drew a yellow line around $40. They've been holding consistently for the last 2 months over that $40 mark. And again, they're having a bad day today, but that puts them down to $44.01. So comfortably above that. I've drawn another yellow line at $55. That seems to be the top of the current trading range. They popped up to that just a few weeks ago. And then there have been a lot of issues that we just talked about in the news cycle that have driven the stock price down. The way I'm looking at this stock, I'm more of a buy and hold investor. I think an entry point here, it seems to be holding this $40 level. So if you're a long-term investor, this could be a reasonable time to buy. Maybe you want to wait until it tests that $40 line again. If it tests that $40 line and fails, it could get down to the $30 mark again. If you're a long-term trader, then you just keep averaging yourself in. If you're looking for a swing trade, then I would probably put a stop loss on and get yourself out of there. If it closes a few candles under that $40 mark, that would not be a good short-term sign for this stock. Other than that, there may be a swing trade here from the low 40s to $55. I'm looking at the long term. Their all-time high is up there at the other blue line, which is just call it $65 as their all-time high. If they can execute the plan that they've talked about, if they just stay on track with what they're doing, to me, and this is not financial advice, and I don't have a crystal ball, this is my investment plan with this company. I think this is a long-term buy and hold. They should, sometime over the course of the next year, get back to their all-time high, and then I think they should go through that all-time high and with lots of upside potential past that. But it could be a bumpy road. This is a volatile stock, so warning to all investors, this stock is volatile for a lot of different reasons. This sector is volatile. You got to have the stomach for it. But, if you're buying and holding and you're just averaging yourself in on the dips, this would be my strategy. So those are my thoughts on NIO. Good luck investing, everybody, and we will see you in the next video.